Yeah,
Yo, I love it.
Wait, finish.
I don't got no shame. Somebody got a generator going. I can hear them.
Okay.
Tanya!
Jeray,
Thank-
tell the people watching what happened as soon as we went live.
I don't care. Are y'all turning on the generator?
Jeray, tell them where you are and what happened.
I'm in Roatan, Honduras. I live on an island in the Caribbean, and there's a hurricane passing through, or at least it has already passed. And it's been raining like for the last couple of days, and the power went out, which is normal. It's normal. The power goes out, but I also signed up for a generator. Like I knew they had a generator. I live on the nicest part of the island, or one of them, and I can hear other people's generators going. But yet here I am in the dark.
I don't know. I saw your teeth for a second. I saw your teeth.
Oh, hold on,
Like,
you saw them teeth? Hold on, wait, let me see.
oh shoot! I see.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
That's hilarious.
She answered me, but I don't know. Like I don't know if the generator's out of juice.
Okay,
Like,
okay, so check this out. Check this out. For everybody who just tuned in, YusefWateef back in the game with some unexpected hilarity. So everybody knew that we were going to talk about life in Brazil, Colombia, Honduras, and what I wanted to focus on was the pros and cons of the cost difference because everybody wants to live someplace where you can get a lot for a little bit of money. But it's interesting that everybody joined in right now because now Jeray is in Colombia, and this is one of those things. Like Jeray lives in this.
oh no, I'm in Honduras.
I'm sorry, Jeray is in Honduras. She lives in this beautiful. Tell them about your house.
Oh my god. So you want to know about my house or about my island?
Your first the house, then the island.
Okay, so I live at the bottom floor of a townhome. So the family that I'm renting from, they live in the 2 top floors. I have a deck in the front, which is really huge. I have a view of the ocean. It's very well manicured and jungly over here. I live in the neighborhood called the West Bay. My place is about 800 square feet. I have hot water. That's a big deal. And I have clean running water. And what else? What else is wonderful? And I have there's a company called Bulldog Security, and they basically come down my street. Oh, here's another big deal. I have a street. Most people live down a dirt road. Like most of the roads are dirt, but I actually have like a paved street to park my car in a little parking area. So so that's my place. It's a decent size. I brought my dog here. I have a 50-pound Australian Shepherd. So I have a full kitchen. Pretty much like fairly new appliances. I have a gas range. I cook. And the place is really nice. I really like it. It's got that roll-out floor. It looks like hardwood, but it's not. And it came furnished. So I paid $900 a month for a furnished place.
Wow. Okay. Well. Let me do this first. I'm gonna say hello to Classic Ruby, who just popped in. And Ruby, if you and anybody else just got in, and for the record, Ruby, I'm asking you with updated people who come in on exactly why Jeray is blacked out. You see, Jeray is blacked out right now, not because she's on silent for her phone, but because she's on an island in Honduras and the power just went out. And she lives in this wonderful house that she was going to show us. And the cost of living is inexpensive, but now she's dealing with a blackout.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get some light in here. Do you think if I sign on with my laptop that I'll get enough light?
I don't know. You're welcome to go through the way. I'm fine waiting here until you look, we can see your teeth. I'm fine waiting here until
I see them. There they are right there. There they are. Okay, let me see. I'm going to try that. But yeah, so the thing about the island, there's one power company and it's owned by an American. And he pretty much manages the grid pretty well. But this is a developing nation. So when we had a hurricane come through last night, when you have a storm like that, it damages something and it blows the grid out. So less than 5 minutes before we were going on, I didn't have power. This is the first time I've actually sat in the dark before. That's new. But that is one of those things. Wherever you live on this island, you need a generator because the power goes out every other week. Sometimes they're working on the grid, and they'll tell you on the internet that your power is going to go off from like 2 to 4, and you just go on the beach.
Wow.
You just leave the house, just go to the beach.
So if we're talking about, I want to talk about cost of living in the micro, but I want to talk about cost of living in a beautiful place like Honduras in the macro, meaning you're in a developing nation, like a lot of them are, but not all developing nations are created equal. And I also forget people. What made you choose Honduras in a place with a dirt road and a giant house?
So give me 1 second. I'm connecting my cell phone to my phone to see if that is going to get it for me, because I've got a little bit of light with this bright ass screen. But no, I'll keep going. Oh, look, here we go. Check it out. There I am. Can you see a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why I chose the island is because, I came here on vacation. I was already ready to leave Houston because Houston has become a mega city. It was already the third largest city in the United States, but now it's like a mega city. Like, people are moving there from here, there, and everywhere. They built something to the tune of like 9,000 new apartment structures, high rises, mid rises, all over the city. Traffic was bad. People are fighting in parking lots for parking spots. People are getting rude. It just wasn't Southern the way it was before. And I knew I just wanted a change of pace. So originally the idea was that I was going to move to Dripping Springs just outside of Austin. And I was going to go there for work during the summer and see if I liked it. And if I liked it, I would live there. Well, after the summer finished, I came to this island for vacation. And on the second day, I knew I wanted to live here. I was out on a snorkeling trip, and I asked my snorkeling instructor as I was standing on the boat, I said, what I got to do to live here? And he basically told me that, a nice apartment, which was nice for him. His standard was about $600 a month. And, that if I was really serious, that he would connect me to.
Because if I'm not mistaken.
Where'd you go?
Big place.
Wait, say it again.
Oh, I said, it looks like from what you were describing, for 900 US a month, you're getting a pretty big place. Because for me, I'm in a simple apartment, and I pay, I think, how much a month? US, I pay $360 a month for 30 square meters or 322 feet for an apartment here. Right. And you're paying 600 and you're getting the entire house. So I'm guessing that cost of living, because you're not in a giant megapolis like Sao Paulo, Brazil, correct, it's much less expensive.
Well, I sent you the list of the things. My rent here in my apartment, or my little house, is $900 a month, but it's because of the location. So there's two pretty expensive, I guess you would call it expensive, expat neighborhoods. The West Bay is where I live, and then there's another one called Lawson Rock. One of the things that I thought about when I was moving abroad was that I'm single, and I need to live somewhere that has excellent security, and I need to live somewhere where it's enough of a community where people have enough upward mobility that my neighbors are not going to want to rob me.
So do you need security to stop people from running when you trap them in your house?
When I what?
Nothing.
I do not have to trap people in this house. People come willingly, thank you.
Once they come to a party at your house, there's no leaving.
I don't even party like that. It gets dark here at 6 o'clock, and I'm sleepy right now. It's 7:58. I am ready to get in the bed and go to sleep. But the reason why I picked this island is because it, for all intents and purposes, it operates like a small town. There's only 77,000 people on the island, and the way my life is, I see the same people that's in my favorite cafes at the grocery store. The people that I am going snorkeling with, they know the person that owns the boat, their husbands or their wives or their cousins. I can ask the people down at the convenience store for something, and they will find it for me. I need a ride to the airport. You know, Ernesto's down there. He's got a place. I liked how connected the environment was, and I hate to sound cliche, but you know, everybody's kind of looking out for everybody else. I brought my dog, you know, and people have offered to watch her while I'm out. People have stopped to ask me about the dog and pet the dog. Random people will come and sit with me at lunch if I'm sitting by myself. Like it's really neat. I really like it here. People aren't awkward here.
Well, let's do this. I want to go into a lot of what you said about how you doing, John? What you said about your cost of living there, because a lot of people remember I did a post called "Cost of Living in Sao Paulo, Brazil," and I did two things. The one thing I did, let's see.
One second, because I want some water.
Okay. One thing I did for the people who are watching before we go into yours, I did this. I did a monthly expense report on Sao Paulo, Brazil, and how much I spend. I spend less than $900 a month, and that includes food, fun, living expenses, just the whole thing.
Right.
And I also shared with everyone. Let me see here. I also shared with everyone a video that I hope you can all go back and check out on the cost of living, because I want to go into your cost of living. Now, remember, for everybody watching, it's not a contest. It's not a contest to see who lives in the cheapest place. It's rather what we get for what we spend. What we get for what we spend. Okay, and Adria is going to be coming back soon to represent Colombia. But check this out for everybody who. It's live, Brazil's cost of living expenses. Hey, look, I think I passed 850 subscriber mark while we were talking. So thank you to everybody who did that. I'm going to have to give everybody a shout out for that. I appreciate it.
Woo!
Yeah, party time. You know, this channel has grown so quickly because everybody's been sharing it, and I appreciate that. So here's where we are now. I want to show what you told us your expenses are, because I want people to really get a feel for there. Can everybody see that?
I can see it.
You know, these are your monthly expenses. So read these down for me and kind of tell me what we're looking at more than just money. Your rent in an 800 square foot apartment is 900 US.
Correct. And my apartment has, so one of the things that the island does not have is clean running water. The water is kind of suspect. They say that you can brush your teeth with it, but you shouldn't drink it, and you don't let your dog drink it. Well, I can brush my teeth with this water, but this water is treated, and everyone here has their own cistern, so to speak. So my landlord treats our cistern, and he's kind of got experience with that sort of thing. He's a civil engineer, and his wife is an architect. So for $900 a month, I get. This apartment this little house has an open concept. My living room and my kitchen is completely open. One leans into the other. And then the other half of my place is my bathroom. I have a decent shower and with hot water. And then I have a bedroom and I have a closet. So it was worth it for me. I knew that I could get something cheaper. They have another unit. They own 4 properties here, and they have a property that's $400 a month, and it's a studio. And I believe it's something to the tune of about 500 square feet. But it does not have a gas stove. It has some kind of mini kitchen. It doesn't have a full kitchen. And yeah, you could live off of those little burners or what have you, but I actually like cooking, and I need a stove and an oven. In terms of...
So quick question for reference. Are these pictures a fair reference of where you live?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yes, that's what my beaches look like. I can walk. Oh, here's the other part. I can walk down to my beach in 15 minutes. I just walk right down, and that's exactly what it looks like. Yes.
So Roatan is this little island off Honduras.
Yes. It's kind of at the edge of the Caribbean.
So
I'm
my
surprised
question
the
is,
lights are out.
why did you choose the island as opposed to the actual city part?
I did not want to live in a city anymore. I didn't want to live in Houston. I didn't want to live in Austin proper. I was done with city living. It was too crowded, and it's too crowded. The lines are too long. The people are too rude. It's all the things that people say when they're ready to settle down and have a simple life. I just didn't want to. Not to mention Honduras proper. The mainland is going through something. They're going through a financial and a political crisis. And so I was told by people that had come to the United States from Honduras that I didn't need to go there because they believe that Americans are ripe for the picking in terms of they'll, hold you up somewhere and ask your family for 20 grand. And if they don't pay, they just shoot you in the head. And that's just,
Pause.
that's what I've heard.
Can I say something real quick to the people listening? What people told her about if you're an American, they're going to kidnap you, which could happen anywhere in the world, including America, let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I want to be very specific about is when you travel the world as much as I have and as much as I hope you do, DeRay, you find out very quickly when someone says, I hate Americans, they're never talking about Black people. I want everyone watching this. That's not a racist statement. That's not an inflammatory statement. You and I will never be seen as the face of imperialism. We don't look like the commander that sent soldiers into their backyard to shoot people over their oil. When people say, I hate Americans, or it's not safe for Americans, you'd be amazed. You and I can travel the world and be seen as, well, wow, you guys survived some harsh treatment from America.
That is true. One of the locals said, you can pass here. And my passing here, first of all, this is an amazing place to be Black. It's unbelievable. For the little Spanish that I do speak, whatever the Honduran rate is for food, I get it. I'll never forget, I was lining up and there was a bunch of guys that were in construction and they were, patronizing this business because it was close by. Everybody was sitting down for lunch. And I had spent all my money snorkeling and all I had was about 20 lempiras left. Well, the ratio or the conversion is $1 American dollar equals 24.50 lempiras. So I had less than $1 American dollar. And they had American prices. It was $15 for the plate that I wanted. And I said, hey, I don't have enough. I spent all my money snorkeling. And the lady said, oh, what you got? And I pulled out my 20 and she took it. That was what all the other guys played too. She could have easily just said, no, you can go back to your house. You can go get it. I'll wait.
Right.
But everywhere that I go, as long as I'm, giving my hola, como estás, as long as I'm saying usted, as long as I am, ordering food, I know how to, say me gustaría ordenar. Like I can speak enough to tell them where I want to go, say how I'm doing, my name is. And the whole island just opens up to me. I get all kinds of information that I wouldn't have gotten if I were a white expat, so I definitely believe you there. The other part of it was my mother was not going to allow me to move to mainland Honduras for all of the things that she'd heard. So that was just out of the question. That just wasn't going to happen. But that was the other part. Huh?
Oh, go ahead. I want you to finish. Go ahead.
No, but I was saying that's the other part of it is that I do have to be mindful that I am a single woman and I have to be mindful, not necessarily paranoid, but I do need to be aware of where I am, who I'm interacting with, and for my own safety, because the same thing is true for living in Houston, in the United States. Anything could happen. One of the things that I didn't do in Houston was I didn't travel through the city alone at night. Number one, people drink and they drive poorly. Number two, I don't see very well driving at night. The other part is if you're living in a highly populated area where accidents are happening left and right, you may get caught up in something. So there's precautions that I take living in any large city. I take those same precautions here and they've served me well. So you were saying you had another question.
My other question is actually more of a statement. Check this out. Jon Snow said, You got a maid. That's what's up. Why do people freak out over the maid part? Because for anybody who's been watching for a while, you guys know that I ended up having to do my own separate video about having a maid in Brazil because people act like that's just, I don't know, it's a weird thing that happens. People start acting like because you have a maid, somehow they place a value judgment on it's either this most amazing thing or you're a horrible person, in which it's neither. It's I've never found people get upset when you hire somebody to change oil in your car to cook you a hamburger. So for everybody, I want you to check this out. I did Brazilian maid service video about that issue. I hope everybody gets a chance to go back and check it out. But yeah, that's awkward.
I have a maid because I realized that I'm the kind of person that throws clothes in a laundry hamper and I will wear everything in my house and not have anything to wear and then realize, oh God, I need to wash. It's not even so much that the maid washes my clothes. It's just that me doing laundry is an all day event and I may not do a deep clean on the apartment as a result. I just won't. It's just, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you want to call that, but I just won't do it. And so it was really cheap. The girl came over for $30. She spent like damn near the whole damn day here, getting all those nooks and crannies.
Pause. You're a single woman living alone and you make enough mess for the maid to need all day to clean your house? How are you living, woman?
I didn't make the mess. It's just, she stayed here. I don't know why. I don't know what she was doing. She was here all day. I left. I went to the beach. I came back. It was really nice. I let it be. I don't care how long she takes to clean it. I'll tell you what I had her do. I had her wash the dishes. I cook and I trash the kitchen, and I don't always put everything away afterwards. So I did this whole big cooking thing, and I trashed the kitchen. And then she came by and she did the dishes. She mopped the floor. She wiped down all the counters. She made the bed. And the only laundry that I allow her to do is all of the towels, which I have a lot of towels because I go to the beach like every other day. If it's not raining, I'm going to the beach. So she washed all the towels. She changed the sheets. She washed the sheets. She cleared out the fridge, which didn't need it, but she pulled everything out and she wiped down the fridge on the inside. She cleaned the bathroom.
She was showing you how she did her job.
Yeah, she did a great job. I was very happy. I mean,
so because you pay the same for your maid that I do for mine, and I live in a smaller place. It's an apartment, but people get mad at me because I paid that amount, and they say that I'm getting cheated because I don't have any children she's got to clean up for, and I don't make her cook, and they think I'm throwing off the thing. There are some things on your list here. The phone is debatable. I want to look at this grocery money. $60. That's a month.
Okay. I didn't do that right. It's actually $60 a week. I didn't do that right. So it's about $60 a week for groceries.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's 240.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that seems like a lot though for groceries. You live on an island, I forgot, so everything is imported.
Okay, so I just judged that based on what I spent last time. If I went and bought my fruits and my vegetables from the dude that sells it across the street from the gas station, I probably wouldn't spend as much. But when I mean groceries, I mean, I go to the grocery store and I buy, it's not just food. I mean, I'm buying trash can liners. I'm buying I'm buying towels. I'm buying dog food. And so that's what it comes out to. So some of it's food. And I buy everything I could ever think that I want. So I'm buying yogurt and spaghetti, makings for spaghetti and chicken and beef and things like that. So the grocery store kind of doubles as it's kind of like a Walmart here. So you can get everything. So I'm not eating $240 a month. I mean, Harley's food is actually more expensive than that. Her food is like $650. I mean, yeah, no, 600.
But yeah, that's the trade-off we were talking about living on an island. Because I'm looking at your electricity bill. I don't know. I think my electricity bill
is fixed.
What'd you say?
That can't be fixed. That cannot be fixed. The light bill is just high here for no good reason, other than the fact that there's one company, and he's charging 32 cents per kilowatt.
If that people in, I don't listen. I don't know what it's like out there in Colombia, AJ, but my electricity bill, I think I pay $20 a month, maybe.
No.
Hey man, I'm looking at some of these prices that I'm seeing, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to go there because I'm gonna stay.
I know. Did you see the picture?
Hey, so I don't know how to text back and chat to the people in the live comments, so I just want to say what's up to Classic Ruby because I tried to text you in a private chat. I don't know if you got it. So what's up? I saw you holler at me. But yeah, some of these prices is
because this is where she lives, right?
That's where I live, though.
in this
I
island.
love it here.
So
And
the price you pay,
my cost of living was more expensive in Houston.
Yeah,
right.
when you
my rent was like $2,000 a month.
How much is your rent now?
900.
900.
My rent in Houston was about $2,000.
Right. Okay.
That was for a 2-bedroom mid-rise.
She is paying. You see this? That 900. She's paying a lot of money to live on that island.
Yeah, she is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but if that's her,
I'm happy.
she's happy.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Here's the one that I was gonna skip over it. I swear I was gonna skip over it.
What?
And then John had to point it out. No gym.
I don't care.
You just not doing it. You just not even a push up. Nope.
I swim every other day. Not only do I swim, but I have the boat to take me out into the middle of the ocean just so I can take all my gear off and like swim from one side, from one marker to the other. I don't do gyms. I don't like them. They don't smell good.
Okay, well, as long as you're getting some exercise. When you said you're swimming, okay, I'm okay with that. I just thought you meant you just refuse to do any exercise.
No, and not to mention when I walk to the beach, oh my God. Okay, so I gotta walk down 3 flights of stairs from my place. Then the driveway, it goes up this hill. It's very like mountainy and hilly over here. I go down the hill and then I go down like 1.5 miles, and it's like this. And then I go down this back road to the beach. So one time I got so tired after I had gone swimming that I just paid somebody $5 just to take me back home, which was crazy. That was completely exorbitant. I wouldn't spend so much money places where I could save money, but I don't. I don't have to have my car, but I do have to have my car. I have a dog, and taxis here are like $1 to go from one place to the other, maybe $5 to go from one side of the island to the other, depending on what you're doing, if they're waiting on you. They charge me double because I have a dog. And the island doesn't view dogs the way that the United States views them. Like there's no doggy daycare here. There's 3 vets, and I'm surprised that there's that many. But when they see me standing on the corner with my dog, they're like, fuck that. I don't want a dog in my vehicle. So I was like, you know what? That's okay. I'll just get my own vehicle. And I like the freedom. I don't like waiting for taxis. You have to stand on the corner like a goddamn hooker and wait, and flag somebody down. And they may or may not stop because you've got La Parita sitting right next to you. So,
stand on the corner
like a hooker.
Like a hooker.
Wow, that was
vivid. That was some vivid. That was vivid. Listen, there's one thing I want to do before I even move off that sheet, just for the sake of definitions and understanding the conversation we're having. And this is not an attack. Just we all need to be on the same page, and we all need to know what we're talking about, because John Nothing said maid/concubine. That's what I think of. There's some trust in the people you let in your house. You have to trust people you let in your house, but I never want us to think of a maid and a concubine in the same way.
Totally different thing.
They're totally different.
Who has a concubine?
Well, let's do this. If we go with
somebody you go to bed with.
AJ, give him the concubine.
What's you say AJ? I didn't hear you.
Tell what a concubine is.
Oh, a concubine is what King David had when he had 6 that he was just smashing off. He was getting his rocks off. So
a concubine is a lower ranked wife. She has an official title. She's not some hidden side chick. She has a title, but she's not high as the wife. When the wife walks in the room, she bows her head.
Lord have mercy. I don't have one of those. No.
And a maid is just
a maid is somebody just come and cleanse your place for you. I mean, I mean, hell, I love it. I love having a maid. Like, that was dope.
I
Yeah.
had one in the States, and she was much more expensive than what I'm paying now.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
the one
yeah.
I have here is.
First of all, y'all paying a lot for y'all maids. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, me
Where are
too.
you living?
Me
Your
too.
maid is cheaper.
I live in Medellin, Colombia.
Hold on, hold on. You're saying I pay a lot for my maid too? Because hold on, my maid comes in at $70 a month, US.
So we also have to talk about how many times you use her. Because
I would say she comes in, let's call her every other Saturday. She'll come in from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m.
So mine is probably on the same rotation, twice a month. And it only costs me like $34 a month.
Okay, so my maid comes in every Friday.
Oh, so you got you got her more.
Yeah, she comes in every Friday. And when she comes, I basically get lost. I know that she's cleaning my neighbors up top.
Yeah.
So I know she's working her way down. So that's why I know she's here like all day. But she comes here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to the beach. I just come up missing. So
I mean,
I don't know what the hell she's in here doing. I just know it smells good when I get back.
Most of the time, people don't realize when you're dealing with maids and stuff like that. These people this is how they make their living, so they're not gonna mess that up by stealing your stuff.
Especially you have to do 100% referral.
Yeah, they're not gonna mess their money up by stealing your stuff, because if they work for you, they probably work for 4 or 5 other people that you know. So if they steal your stuff, they're gonna lose all their jobs, right? So they're not gonna mess that up.
They're very careful about that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're working they're working for expats, and expats, the expats here are very untrustworthy. And I think they may have reasons for that, because I hear about.
Oh, wait. I don't understand. When you said the expats are untrustworthy, you mean
not untrustworthy? They mean, I mean, they're skeptical of the general population. They're very skeptical. And there's stories about this Canadian woman was had this island man come live with her, and he was stealing her earrings, and he kept asking her for money every month. And,
but she was a sugar mama.
She was a sugar mama, right? She's a sugar mama. That's not his fault. Like he doing the game.
You know what she needed? Ruby, tell him she needed a concubine, somebody who knew the position.
Yes.
Right? She needs somebody who knew their position, and that's what it is. But you can't have somebody who basically you have every advantage over coming into your place and not like, look, if you go out, and I'm just gonna make up a random. Let's say me. If I pick up a girlfriend and she's 22 years old, and here I am, twice her age, what would I look like not making sure I gave her something to take care of her? She would be an idiot not to get something out of the deal. I tell girls all the time. So this dude is thinking you're probably being tight ass. She think, well, I'm letting you sleep in my bed, and he's like, this dick ain't free.
It went on. The whole story went on to. It wasn't just that he was stealing. It wasn't just that he was asking for money. He roped in some other person. He had a big elaborate scheme. It always amounts to these people are trying to get as much money from you as they possibly can. Watch them.
And how naive was she?
Huh?
How naive was she?
She was Canadian. I don't know. I don't know her personally. But these are stories that the expats tell.
By the way, don't be talking shit about Canadians. Classic Ruby would come and put a foot in your ass.
Hey, all I'm saying is we weren't from the same place, so I don't know where her frame of mind was.
And for the record, Classic Ruby is my least favorite Canadian, just in case y'all were wondering.
That's unfortunate. They seem like such nice people. But yeah, so the idea of having somebody, my neighbor Tanya, she's Eastern European. She recommended her. A friend of mine that owns one of the glass bottom boats knows her personally. Like they're a little group, so to speak.
You made me nervous, Dre. When you name dropped your neighbor, I hope this is a good story, because you just outed somebody. I thought you were gonna say my next door neighbor, blah blah blah. Well, she was shacked up with her boyfriend.
No. I was just saying she recommended her. That's all I was saying. Like I typically work with people based off of references. Right. I trust Tanya. I trust the people that own the glass bottom boat. When they said, "Oh, she's a real nice girl," blah blah blah, I thought, "Oh, cool. I don't feel no kind of way." Because before I was here, I was staying here. I was gonna stay here for the whole thing. And then my friend walked in and was like, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "And I'm leaving now because why?" Like Tanya was here, Boris from upstairs was here. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna fuck off now. I have no reason to stare at you." But yeah, I didn't realize how expensive my stuff was until I added it all up, and I was like, ooh.
I hope you get to get to a couple other places, and maybe Brazil, the way I talk about it, or maybe Colombia, because I want AJ to really get down into Colombia and what his costs are like, because I know AJ has a nice spread out there. He's been there a few times. He knows the score.
So before I start giving everybody all the highlights of Colombia, we full. So, cause yo,
wow,
expats hey man, yo, expats come down here and they ruin the economy. I'll be like, yo, what are you doing? Yo, why are y'all ruining the economy, yo? Like, yo, let's keep it peachy, pimpin'. Like, come on, man. I'm being for real. Like, so
he said, "Don't come. We're full.
We're full. We're full." I wish I knew how to say it in Spanish.
Well, wait, you're not fluent yet?
Say what?
How's your Spanish going, lessons wise?
Man, I'm learning Spanish by talking to Uber drivers and girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, because a lot of them want to practice English. So it's I'm more serious about it now since I've decided that I'm gonna stay. But
how long have you been there?
So I was here from July of 2018 till like May or June of this year, and then I just came back like 2 weeks ago, and I don't plan on leaving.
Yeah, you're like me. You can get that second passport action going down there.
Yeah.
For
either here or Ghana.
I haven't been to the continent of Africa, so I don't know any Ghanaian country. I mean, Ghanaian anything.
Yeah. So I'll probably do that. But Colombia is dope, man. Like as far as like the cost of living, like it's how. So for where I stay in a section called La Reles, which is like the second best probably neighborhood in Colombia. Poblado is probably the best. It's where a lot of expats live. What I don't like about it is built on a mountain, so you can't walk. Like if you walk anywhere, you drenched in sweat because you're walking up or down the hill, right? So in La Reles is flat, so I literally walk everywhere unless I go to Poblado to kick it. So when it comes to rent, I have Huh?
What city are you in?
I'm in Medellin, Colombia.
Okay.
And once again, we're full in Medellin. Y'all can go to Cartagena. Y'all can go to Cali.
Where's the beach?
What neighborhood?
You're talking about that we're full. Where's the beach?
Oh, the beach is in Cartagena. The beach is Cartagena, Barranquilla. Like, yeah, you go there. Go there. You got it.
What neighborhood are you in?
Whatever, man. I'm coming to see. How big is the city? Is it a city where you live? Is it like a proper city where you live?
Oh yeah, no, it's like I think it has 3 to 4 million people here.
Oh yeah, you can keep that shit. That's too many people.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, La Reles, you got it.
It's too many people. People bumping up against you. People breathing on your neck. It's too much.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I am glad that you are happy, sir.
Hey, yes, sir.
So what's your phone bill look like? Because I'm very proud of my $30 a month for all my internets and such.
So they have a prepaid plan down here. That's like $7. Yeah. And it includes it includes Facebook and WhatsApp, part of the package. Right, for free.
Well, yeah, they do that here as well.
So that's all I get because I'm like, that's the only thing I'm using. I'm just using Facebook and WhatsApp.
Jermaine, what are you doing making people seasick?
Man, listen, I plugged in the phone. Oh, wait, but I don't have internet. So I don't know how long
it's around like the Blair Witch Project.
Do what?
You spinning around like the Blair Witch Project.
Hey, they gonna come get it.
I was trying to plug in the phone because
they gonna come get it. It's dark out there.
So you get a package like here. I think I pay in US dollars $25 a month, and I got like the biggest data package I could find, so I never run out of data and I never run out of anything else. But if you buy a phone chip on the street, you can get one, and they either have like Facebook or all that. And some companies like mine is Vivo. Mine I get 50% off cinema and a bunch of other stuff. So literally any movie I go to, even a premiere, is 50% off tickets.
Yeah. So in Colombia, like one of the things that I like is they have I think every Wednesday is like 2 for 1. So you can take 2 people for the price of one. So it's a great date night, to go to the movies on Wednesday because it's 2 for 1. And the tickets when I go is less than $4. So yeah, for me that's dope because now I'm saving money on everything. I wasn't paying as much as you paid in rent in Houston when I was in Atlanta, but I'm paying about just the same. I had a 2-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom townhouse, and it was just a regular quad. It wasn't even a townhouse; it was a quad, right? So it had 4 regular, nothing special. Down here, I live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom penthouse with a jacuzzi on top, and I pay the same amount.
Can I show them some pictures? Is that all right?
Yeah, you can show them some pictures.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a lot more bang for your buck here, right?
Yeah.
So and then so when y'all was showing y'all utilities and stuff, I don't pay utilities because all of that's included in my rent.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
check that out, folks.
I don't have
to. Yoga mat for exercising.
Yeah, that's a yoga mat. So I do something really stupid, right? Well, it's fun for me, but one of the things I say is that when I wake up, the first thing I do is go stand outside so I can always start my day off outstanding. So that's been like my little thing for years. Just
pause. Did y'all notice how he paused? Like we're supposed to be like,
yo, hey, you better believe it. That's my thing. Thank you. Thank you.
Impressed.
Yo, but yeah, hey, I gotta laugh.
If it's working, you know what I mean?
It is.
Like, who am I to be like, that's stupid? Like, you into it, I'm into it, you know?
It is. Yo, I am so into it. So I do corny stuff like that. Like I will literally go start my day standing outside so I can start my day outstanding. And it works for me.
Good
it works.
Stuff.
So but yeah, I do yoga out there on my balcony. Or I'll go like on the roof is where the hot tub is. So I'll do yoga and then I'll get in the hot tub first thing in the morning. Or like after we get off here, I'll probably go up in the hot tub just because I can. Like it just reminds me of every time I look at the US and see snow, it makes me want to go get in the hot tub.
Yes. Every time somebody tells me that it's 30 degrees in Houston, I'm like, and going to the beach today.
Exactly.
Just gonna go get in that water. I'm gonna send some pictures of said water. Pictures of blue fish. Yeah. I have to go back.
Y'all want to hear something funny, right? As I sit here in Sao Paulo, Brazil, just enjoying, my evening. By the way, are they Celsius or Fahrenheit in Colombia?
Celsius.
Because I think, is America the only place in Fahrenheit?
Probably. America is weird. Like the more I get out, I'll be like, yo, America is we do stuff so ass backwards.
It's 20 degrees where I was born today right now. It's 20 degrees. I'm sitting here in a tank top, sweating, drinking my water that I had frozen.
I promise you. So my brother is coming down to visit me from Maryland tomorrow. And he was like, it's 20 degrees in Maryland. And I was like, bro, I was outside hooping today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's life. I do not envy anybody that has to live in the cold. I leave my windows and doors open all the time. I've never closed my door. My bedroom window stays open. I mean, my bedroom balcony door stays open, so I get that fresh breeze.
So now you're in a condominium, right? What's the price on a condominium? What's the deposit like, and what's the price for a spread like yours?
So I pay $950 a month. All utilities included, internet included. Let's see. And that's typically, if you want something. But like I said, it's a penthouse apartment. So
did it come furnished?
It did. It came furnished.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, it came furnished. So it was cool. And one of the great parts was I got to buy some of the furniture because like I get whatever happened with the last tenant or whatever. I bought some of the furniture, so he was like, "Yo, just take it out of your rent," which was perfect for me because now I know I have brand new furniture that I know what's been done on it, blase blase, you know. So, yeah, for me that was like dope. But it's I don't know. I felt like I don't know if they watch if your viewers watch Power, but yo, I felt like on some Power type stuff because I got the little elevator that opens up into your apartment. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a key. You gotta have a key to turn it in the elevator. You'd be like, oh, like, can't nobody come to my joint, right? Can't nobody come to my joint because you have to have a key to turn the elevator and it opens up into my apartment. And I'm like,
that's one of those you don't know now moments, you know. That's one of them moments.
Yeah.
That's one of them moments. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's dope.
It's dope.
You know what? You make me want to come and see what's up because that sounds pretty awesome.
I told you we full.
Listen, because I'm like down the street. A flight there is probably cheap.
It is. It's probably cheap as heck.
Now, here's another question, right? And while we're staying on those main topics, you got a nice penthouse apartment. Do you go shopping for yourself, or do you have a situation? Because a lot of people will give their housekeeper or their maid. I don't know how you guys do it, but here I can buy like a prepaid card and give it to my maid with her salary on it. I can put money on it and say, when you come, here's what I want you to bring.
Or you have a cookie. That's what they call those.
Oh, well, yeah, you can do that. You can say that. But I mean, here's the thing, you know, for the price, you can do anything. What is the protocol there? Do you do, like, I like to do my own shopping because if anybody my videos on Instagram and stuff, that's one of the ways I learn language. Like I learned counting, going to the market, ordering, I want 12 bananas. But what kind of bananas do you want? Well, they got 50 kinds of bananas and each one tastes different. You know, how much is it cost per kilo? When I came down to my street market down the street from my apartment, there was like 6 row tables of bananas. And I was like, wow, these people must cook with a lot of bananas. And it hit me. Each table had 3 different varieties of banana, plus some hanging up. So when you say, yeah, give me a dozen bananas, they're like, okay, what kind?
Yeah, what kind? Yeah, I'm like you. Although I could pay for a lot of conveniences, I don't because I want to be out amongst the people. I want to hear language. I want to, you know, ask to tell the lady at the counter, I have no idea what you're talking about, so she can break it down. And the more I do that, you know, I'm like, oh, that's what this means. Oh, that's what this means. And you just figure it out just based on, yo, you hear the stuff all the time. My man said, how difficult was it to find a penthouse apartment? It wasn't difficult at all. They got them everywhere, man. This is what people have to realize about Colombia and why, especially Medellin, and why so many people are attracted to it. Because at one time, all the cocaine that was flowing through here in the 80s and 90s, they say that Pablo Escobar was the richest person in the world because Forbes had him listed at 5, and that's just the money that they could count, right?
Wow.
So they were taking that money and they was building Medellin up. So although I'm technically in a third world country, I have first class amenities. Like all my amenities are first class, right? The infrastructure in the city is dope, right?
That's amazing.
It's congested, but yo, people don't realize. Do you know how many billions of dollars came through here from cocaine money? Like, thank you, United States, for building Medellin, Colombia up. Thank you for doing all the cocaine you did, because now I get to live like a king here. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Appreciate you.
That's amazing.
I don't know. If you're gonna get my video flagged, you just said the C word, cocaine, like 6 times. I don't know. But I got my video anyway. But that's what I was gonna say is, you know, for me, I intentionally don't live in a quote unquote upper class neighborhood. My friends all live in a place like Moema or nicer places with high rise apartments. Not the kid. I live in a plain ass neighborhood among people, not just because of the rent's low, but because I tell everybody the same story. One of my buddies from Las Vegas came to spend a week out here. One day he woke up and said, my wallet is gone. No sooner had he said that, and some of you have heard this story, I get a buzz from the front desk at my door. Come downstairs. I go downstairs. There's his wallet. He left it in a restaurant that I go to 2 blocks down. The waitress saw it, picked it up, said, oh, this is the friend of the big black guy comes in here all the time. Give it to a local taxi driver. The local taxi driver takes it up the block, 2 roads to my front desk man. The front desk man says, "Thank you." Now, I'm not telling you the whole country of Brazil is like that. I'm not even telling you every block in my neighborhood is like that. But because I live in a neighborhood, the lady I buy my roasted chicken from every Saturday knows who I am. The lady and I can just go like this, and she knows to give me 2 toasts and a coffee in the morning.
Yeah,
you can't buy that.
Yeah, it means something. It means something to connect to your neighborhood and just support the people in your neighborhood. Because if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. You know, they'll make sure that you don't get got.
What the hell are you doing? Can you not be trusted alone? What is she doing?
She's about to do a seance.
Dang it, it's dark in here. My word.
Man, let her do her little seance, man. She finna.
Yo, man, you can go sit down, okay? This is what happens. You know, I don't know if you've ever lived anywhere where you didn't pay the light bill and they turned your shit off. But I remember
grew up with it. Grew up with it my whole life.
I remember that, and so I know how to make it do what it do. We're gonna light these candles. It's gonna be pretty in here because I can't see in the dark very well. So I'm not gonna be busting my nose, busting my head, trying to go from one room to the other. Yeah. So you gonna let me light these candles?
Hey, do your thing, Ma. Do your thing.
See, this is what we have to do. Support each other.
Ruby wrote.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what a lot of people associate Colombia with. All they associate Colombia with is, and you still spelled it wrong. It's an O. It's okay. I'm gonna call you out. It's an O.
She wrote Colombia like the university.
Right. She fixed it. It was autocorrect. I got you, Classic Ruby. I'm gonna take up for you. Yeah, that's what a lot of people associate it with, and that's why people are still scared of it, because they're associated with drugs and they're associated with poverty. But it's, you know, I mean, they have that here, right? But you gotta find it. It's like anything. You can find that in Austin, Texas, right? So it's all about what you're looking for. And now it's becoming known as a very sexualized country because they have beautiful women here, and a lot of men fly in town.
Who's scrambling in the background? Testing.
You know that was her. Look at you. Look, the guilty face. Look at her.
Y'all can hear that in the background, right?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah. You're getting fuzzy, and I don't know what's going on.
She started doing a seance. What you mean you don't know what's going on? I just told you what was going on. She's going to start a seance.
Howard is coming down in February, so we're going to get a chance to hang out. Uh-oh, she dropped out of the call. Well, everybody, keep your fingers crossed for Jeray. I hope she didn't get kidnapped or eaten by an alien.
It happens. Aliens sometimes eat you. Yeah. But yo, like, it's funny how we were talking earlier, man, just about knowing your stuff and knowing, you know, respecting the countries that you come to. And I think that's one thing that I wish more Americans would do. When you come here, remember, this isn't America. So don't treat it like America, right? Because if you try to get them, they gonna get you, right? But if you show them like, yo, I'm not trying to take advantage of you. Anytime anybody does something nice for me, I always go out of my way to show gratitude by giving them extra, right? And for me, it may just be 80 cents, but to them, it's 2 million pesos, right? So, and if you I always taught this, man, you take care of them, they're gonna take care of you,
right?
So yeah, right.
Well, let me back up. We were talking about food before. Like for me, I'm gonna put myself out there. My single biggest expense is my stomach. I don't know about you. I don't know how you live. For me, food is my biggest expense.
Yeah, so mine isn't, and that's because I do the slow carb lifestyle. So
what again?
I do the slow carb lifestyle.
Okay, can you explain that to us?
Yeah, so Sunday through Friday, I primarily eat meat, vegetables, and beans, and then on Saturday I call it Fatterday because then I eat whatever I want, right? So one day a week I eat whatever I want. I go ham. but it works for me, help me lose. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to take off so many pounds. You know, so I'm very comfortable doing it.
The carb diet.
Yep.
But there are only certain allowed foods, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. But and so 6 days a week you eat very strict. But on that 7th day, bro, you eat whatever you want. And I mean whatever you want. I mean, I eat all type of shit. Like cake, pies, brownies, chicken, pizza. Like I typically on Saturdays, I order a whole pizza. I go order a cake and I go in. You know what I'm saying? I eat till my heart desire.
You do not go halfway. You said a whole pizza. Not
I order a whole pizza. I order a whole
pizza down.
So if we're gonna talk about what I ate Saturday, it was like I started the morning off with a bag of Doritos, a Snickers, and a thing of peanut M&Ms. For lunch, I ordered a whole pizza and I went and got 3 cakes from Juan Valdez. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I made it do what it do, and it was a marvelous day.
And there's no guilt and shame in your voice because you did the other 6 days strict.
Because I did the other 6 days so strict that it's my reward. I reward myself every week. So it's not hard for me to keep up because I'm like every week I get a reward. And then the cool thing about it is once you eat that bad, it's great for your taste buds, but your body reacts to it. So by the end of the day on Saturday, I'm ready to eat right again.
Okay. That's you know what? And what is your budget like for food? Because for me, like I tell people, I can spend $4 and go get an entire roasted chicken. And generally, like on Saturdays when I'm not dealing with clients, I will get up, hit the gym at 9:30, 10 o'clock, get a good 2 solid hour workout in, maybe an hour and a half, and get an entire chicken for lunch with 2 of these. And I'm just so happy.
Yeah. So because I'm doing this, I really can't tell you. I know it's not a lot. I know it's cheaper than what I was doing. But I used to go get like 5 empanadas, and like smash them boys, and it would cost me like $1, maybe $2.50 for 5 empanadas. Yeah, you just find a little street. I mean, so this is the thing in Colombia. You can live like an American and it's gonna be expensive, right? Or you can live like a Colombian and it's I think the average income here is like I want to say it was $750 a month. That's their average income. So if that's their average income, they know how to make it happen on that budget, so you can too. And yes, that is the Tim Ferriss diet. It is.
Yeah, well, I'll show you something. Interestingly enough, something that was relevant, then it did not become relevant, and now it's very relevant again. And we talk about this quite a bit. It's income levels in Brazil. 46% of the people in Brazil live on less than 1,300 real per month, which means they live on less than $400 a month.
Wow.
The 20% above them live on less than $500 a month.
Wow.
The 16% above that live on less than $800 a month. The 9% above that lives on less than roughly $1,000 a month. So when I tell people about coming to Brazil, one of the things you have to learn is that first, with food, we're talking about food. If you eat at Outback Steakhouse every day, like some of my friends do, and they always want to eat the same junk they would have ate at home, you're going to spend actually 4 or 5 times more than you would have at home. But if you just come in and you're eating beans, rice, chicken, vegetables off the table where they have vegetables you can't even name, you will get, like your exercise regimen. And, you know, you and I can talk about that whole regimen, that weightlifting and that staying in shape thing one day. I actually want to have a conversation with you and some other of my friends and guys, just the importance of working out. But I will tell you something, man. If you eat like a local out here, you will lose 10 pounds of fat during your first month. And you'll just notice yourself getting healthier. And then if you add on some gym time on top of it, because I have a theory, I call it good fat and bad fat. I call good fat, when I eat an entire roasted chicken, I know I'm getting a lot of fat in there. But it's not the same as the fat you're getting on a deep fried, I don't know, French fries from the American French Fry Company and some Korean fried chicken. That's what I would call bad fat.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They just did. I think it was, and somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but they just did like the Chick-fil-A sandwich, the chicken sandwich, and talked about the ingredients, and it was like 33 ingredients in the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. How do you have 33 ingredients in a chicken? You know what I'm saying? Like you have 33 ingredients in a chicken, but when you come to countries like this, it's just chicken. It's just chicken. So yeah, my health has dramatically improved. You know what I'm saying? Like at one time, I was dog 3 pounds away from 300.
Whoa, I can't even imagine. And I've seen you. I can't imagine you looking that way.
Bruh, I'm talking about I was
get there.
Swole. I was swole. Now I'm pushing 230. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my whole thing is once I got to 40 years old, I'll be 43 next year. When I got to 40, I decided, I think when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's fun to be a 200, 5 feet 6 inch, 230-pound weightlifter. But once I hit a certain age, when I started getting up there, I decided I don't want to carry that much weight anymore. I don't want to carry. I've been slowly bringing it down because I want to keep my gains with a Z, but at the same time, I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it, man. I feel it. So, when you talk about the gym, that's one thing I love about Colombia, is they have free outdoor gyms.
Really?
So, oh man. So if you look on my I think I put it in my stories. I'm gonna have to send you the pictures. When I go to the gym, I could do everything outside.
Well, they have outdoor gyms here, but they just have the frame. It's a big metal frame. Like they don't have proper weightlifting.
We got weights. I'm talking about the 45, 25, 10, like, and they have them. It's like a cable that goes through. Oh dang, that look good.
That's how I get down out here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. They got cables that go through the plates, and then you just take the cables, put it on the bar. You do the weight. You take the cables off. You take the weights off, and you place them back. Like you can't take them. So it's like real weights. They got a squat rack. They got a bench press rack. They got, and then they have hammer strength joints. So like it's dope. It's dope, bro.
But they also have they have hammer strength stuff outside.
Outside. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's dope. So I was like, when I came back, I was thinking about going back to my gym. It's called Smart Fit. And Smart Fit is like a LA Fitness back in the States or a Gold's Gym.
Yeah, they have those here.
Okay. So, and Smart Fit is like, what is it? It would be about $25 a month for Smart Fit. But when I went to the outdoor gym, I was like, yo, they got all my stuff here. And they got a track right here. Like the track is right here. So after I get finished, I go run on the track. The basketball court is right here. I hoop today, man. I did my family injustice today because I played so garbage. Yo, I went over. Like I ain't played ball in over a year. I missed every shot I shot. I was like, yo, we gotta do better, boss. So
see the gym right down from my house. I think I paid. How much should I pay for my gym for a year last year? It was like $10 a month you pay up front, and they got all this. And my gym is the least fabulous gym. If you look, it's just a bunch of free weights. That gym is the least fabulous gym in my neighborhood. One of the things about Brazilians, I don't know if it's the same in Colombia, but they're very vain people. You find workout academies and gyms everywhere. People love
everywhere. I can walk out my street. You're gonna find at least 4 or 5 gyms within a 5-minute walk. Like they work out here. If you can search Baylin, what is it called? Deportiva Baylin. I think that's the name of the outdoor gym. Just so you can see. It's got everything in there, man. And it'd be so many people working out, and they just encourage. Like that's the one thing I do like about Colombia. It's so dope that so many people are working out that it encourages you to be healthy.
Right.
Because everybody's healthy. So you like, bet that, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure that my health is straight. And one of the things that happened today that I thought was so cool after we got finished playing ball was everybody, before we all left the court, everybody stopped and stretched. And we talked to each other. Huh?
Everybody what?
We stopped, like, after, okay, we played our last game, right? And then everybody just started stretching. It was like, we probably took 10, 15 minutes and just stretched and talked to each other. And I've noticed, I was like, yo, that's how they stay so limber. You know, they're actually stretching once they get finished. They're stretching their muscles out.
All free. This is just something the city gives everybody.
No, the city, and they're everywhere.
Wow. So here's a question for you. If you're paying very little for your food and things like that, so where are your expenses going? Like, do you have someone that does your laundry for you? Like here, I can drop off a giant bag of laundry, and I think it's like per kilo, which is 2.2 pounds, something like $3. And they come back folded, scented. I told her to lay off that scent. Folded neatly in a plastic bag, sealed, and waiting for me for like, I don't know, $1.50, $2 a pound.
But see, for me, because it's like I go through my whole daily routine, so it's almost like, and I really don't have a clothes hamper for real. I guess I have one a little bit, but what I do is I just put I take off my dirty clothes, I throw them in the washer, and then I wash them and I hang them, and that's so my clothes never accumulate really, because I'm always washing them and hanging them.
See, I'm different. When I come in, throw it right in the hamper. Throw it right in the hamper. And I intentionally, the hamper I bought for my place, I didn't buy one of those big hampers. I bought one that was a little slim one that I could use even as a table, because I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I got this giant bag of laundry I got to haul down there on Friday to pick up tomorrow. I can just run down to the bus stop to go to the other side of town, pick it up, drop it off, or often I'll call my Uber and have it meet me at the laundromat. So I just take it down there, drop in my Uber, and go on and hang out.
Dope.
If you were to roll it all up, living the way you live, somebody said, listen, give me an average monthly, and then give me another number that you would say this is how much you would need to get yourself set up in Medellin, Colombia.
So I'll do it based on how I live now and how I live just to get yourself set up. How I live now, if you do $1,500 a month, 1,500, I would say 1,500 to 1,800 a month, you're gonna live nice, right? Your rent is taken care of, your food is taken care of, your social time is taken care of. But when I first came down here, hell, I was probably doing it off for 1,100 a month, 1,100 to 1,000. Because my first apartment, it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in Larelis, and it cost me $500 a month. And it was in a high rise on the 8th floor. I had a balcony. You know, I mean, it was a cool little spot. It was small. It was small. So when I came back, I was like, yo, I'm gonna live a little bit.
See, it sounds like Larelis and Sao Paulo have a lot of the same amenities. Although I think for you, I want to say, no, I would say it's about right. It's about the same. What you're spending and what I'm spending. So it looks like Colombia, Larelis, Colombia, and Sao Paulo, Brazil are they're almost like sisters in expenses and how much it's going to cost to live there. So what we're saying is that if you can get out there or here and you can bring in an income of between 1,000 and 1,200, we'll say, per month, you can live well.
Yeah, you can. You can.
And what would you say of that setup fee again? Just to get set up that first couple months to get. Oh, you didn't have to buy furniture though, did you?
Nope. I just brought my clothes. I literally just brought my clothes out here, and then so now since I decided I'm gonna stay, I started bringing more stuff. But yeah, I just brought my clothes. Yeah, man. But like I said, we're full. We're full. Go somewhere else.
Don't come to Larelis, Colombia, right? Is that what you're saying?
Don't come to Larelis. Like go to Choco, go to Cali, Barranquilla, Cartagena.
Now, all those places, more or less, because I tell people this when they come to Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is what I explain. If you can afford to live in Sao Paulo, Brazil, you're living in the single most expensive city, I think, in all of South America, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so if you can afford to come to Medellin, you can afford to live, I would say, probably anywhere except maybe Bogota. and Bogota is the capital, right?
Mm.
So that, but I've never lived in Bogota, so I'm that's an assumption. However, I do know all the other places you can live there. If you could live here, you could live there.
Mm.
But we're full. We're full here.
You keep saying, "Don't come, don't come." That's
Mm-mm. So yeah, dudes mess it up when they come here. You know what I'm saying? We y'all mess up the economy, man. Y'all be doing stupid stuff.
everybody wants to be the last one there.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. What about transportation?
So
Now, for me, I'm
yeah,
lazy in Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is the 12th largest city in the world. I live 15 minutes away from the major downtown metropolitan area of Paulista. I'm an Uber person. I got Uber Diamond. I get discounts for my Uber rides. But for the average Brazilian, Uber is not really something they're going to be taking. You have to have an income that supports you using Uber for all your needs.
right.
Now, do I take the bus sometimes? Yes, because there are certain times during the day when the traffic on the central areas are backed up. But in Brazil, buses have a private lane.
Okay.
So if you take if I'm going from here to another business district, it's smarter for me to just walk the 2 blocks, jump on a bus, because there's going to be no traffic, no matter how congested the other traffic is.
Yeah, yeah. Here, because I live in Lorella, so I can walk everywhere. But when I do take Ubers, like if I take an Uber to Sabaneta or Poblado, which is like it would be like downtown area, I guess. That's where a lot of the clubs are. Although I stay on like the opposite street of a major club street. It's like $4. Like it's not expensive at all. It's like $3-4 to go from, and it's about a 15-20 minute ride. So yeah, transportation is it's cheap here. It's very, very cheap. They have taxis everywhere. They have buses everywhere. It is becoming a little congested. I don't know why it's becoming so congested.
People like you coming.
Why? See, they gave me residency since I was a kid. They didn't know that. They've been messing with me for a long time because I'm a kid of Pablo. They just don't know it. So I get preferential treatment. But for everybody else, you know what I'm saying? If everybody else, we full.
Wow. Well, hold on. Let me back up. Gonway, thanks for jumping in. What is it about this that you want us to go more into detail on? Because I wanted this to kind of be an overview. And by the way, shout out to Jeray, who just, poor thing.
Yo.
That island life. She lived on an island, this beautiful island in Ecuador, and they got hit with a torrential storm. All her power went out. For the people who came in late, I encourage you at the end of this video, go back to the beginning and listen to her screaming. It's hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Because when the power went out in her house, she had to go outside and scream to the neighbor for her landlord. She was like, "Hey,
Tanya!" No, that joke was funny. Yeah, we don't do that in Medellin. We real city here.
Yeah, Sao Paulo, Brazil. I would just get on the phone and call the superintendent to my building, and
yeah. I'm gonna just call the administration to the building and get it figured out. I'm not gonna be yelling. But
I think once the power did go out here, there was one hell of a thunderstorm one year here, to the point where houses were shaking, car alarms are going off, and the power went off for a short amount of time and it came back on. But we live in cities in mainland. She lives on this island paradise, and there's, what did I say we're going to talk about? Those are the pros and cons.
Yeah, so her power may go out, but she also get to walk to the beach. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to walk to the beach. The beach is a 45-minute flight away from me. So, pros and cons.
And that's the thing. You gotta weigh it all out. I'm not saying where she lives is a bad place. I'm just saying I also have to consider that this is a place where I'm not at that stage in my life where no matter how successful I am, I'm still a businessman at heart. I like being able to go places with our other business people and see what deals I can get into and, what I can move from here to there, because I like the thrill of the business hustle.
Yeah, I feel that.
I asked Gonway, I said, what does he want to hear in part 2? What does he want us to go over? Because I think we covered the big ones, which were food and living expense. Of course, we can't cover traveling to our countries because everybody's going to have a different amount of money they're going to have to spend to get there. But it's kind of one of those situations, and this is something we will have to talk about on another video, and I'm sure you'll have a lot to contribute. If you can put yourself in a situation, I tell people all the time, if you can put yourself in a situation where you can bring in $1,000 US a month, you can live in more than 50% of the world. And of that percent, there are places that are way better than where you are.
Yes.
Like I showed everybody, it's 20 degrees in Niagara Falls, New York, where I was born, with high taxes. Why would I ever do really? Why would I do that? Why would I ever do that again when I can just put myself in a situation with my business and with some other source of income I have to live in a place where it's warm all the time? My winter coat is my hoodie, which I wear sometimes if I leave the house in the morning and it's crisp outside. I'll put my hoodie on for an hour.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. That's like it. I don't even know. I don't understand why people stay in the cold anymore. Right? That's. But some people like it. Just it's not my thing. It was never my thing.
Do people like it? Or they just don't know any different. They never got out. Because where were you born?
I was born in Alton, Illinois.
Okay, so you know what a winter is in Illinois.
I was born in a winter storm.
So get this. What was it like the first time you left that area and realized how many days out of the year you lost to winter? To live in a place where 12 months out of the year, I could call you up and say, let's go have a cheat day pizza together. I can call you up on Saturday and say, hey, let's before we have our cheat meal, let's go lift some weights together all year round. Whereas in Niagara Falls, I didn't know that losing 3 or 4 months a year because the weather is so awful, you just go to where you have to go and go home. It's like the world has a new lease on it.
Yeah, especially down here because the weather stays between 60 and 85 degrees. Like it never gets above 85. It never drops below 60. So it's almost like I don't know why they have meteorologists here because like we know what it's gonna be every. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? Like we know what it is. Like I don't even think about what the weather is gonna be like because I know it's gonna be
wear a t-shirt tomorrow.
Oh, exactly. I know exactly what I'm wearing. Because it's the same thing every day. So it's amazing just to see people back home talk about no school days or snow days, and I'll be like,
snow? I knew what that was. Hold on, let me think.
Yeah, it's like snow. Nah, bruh. Nah. So it does give you a lot. And you know, we talk about the winter calories, right? The winter pounds that people put on. Yeah, you're putting on weight in the winter because you can't be active. Because after it's too cold to go outside and be active. So yes, you eat and you stay in the house. Down here, I don't have to worry about winter pounds because I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna walk like I did 300 other days a year.
You know what I was saying earlier about bringing in income, and I always tell people, oh, hold on, Classic Ruby. I don't know about others, but the benefits for me outweigh the cost of the misery of 6 months of ice and snow life. Well, Ruby lives right outside of Toronto, Canada. So again, it's like freezing cold death there.
Have fun.
Let's look up Toronto weather. Right now, it's 22 degrees.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. All of the day I was walking around with my shirt off. I only put a shirt on because I got on this thing. Like as soon as it's over, I'm taking my shirt off. Like because that's like why have a shirt when you just walk around.
Yep.
You just walk around in shorts and that's life every day. Every day.
What I was going to tell people is I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have a YouTube business. So when I talk about my income and what I do, I have a lot of things going for myself. But one of the main things I tell people is to catch up with me on LinkedIn because I'm an editor, copy editor, proofreader. I write everything from resumes to ghostwriting websites for people. If you have a book, a magazine, something that needs to be edited into university level English, that's what I do as well. And I tell people the same thing all the time. Look at my resume later. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and I want everybody, if they look at anything about me, look at my recommendations, and I want you to look at what other people say about me, what other business professionals say about my level of professionalism and what I've done in countries all over the world. with other respected business professionals. That's how I tell people to get to know who I am and why you should hire me for a lot of these jobs. And for the record, doing that and traveling the world has afforded me a decent lifestyle.
Yeah.
AJ, one of the things we got to do is like I said, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about. I know people that are always asking. Well, they say, well, listen, I don't want to be an editor, copy editor, proofreader like you. What else can I do? I've got a couple things I give people advice on. We should do a show when we talk to people about ways you can basically live off a laptop.
Yeah, laptop lifestyle.
Yeah, we got to put that in the back. I also appreciate that you always stop by because you give a very authentic view of life from where you are. A lot of people respect you. I'm glad you make time to come out because you're one of those people who, believe it or not, most people don't want to talk about what life is really like traveling. They don't tell people the hard work you got to do. They just like to take a picture in front of the beach like this with a coconut, and I'm like, look, do you know the hustle you have to do to be able to kind of coast in life? It's like
I'm gonna tell you before, and you can look. I think it's on Facebook. I might have put it on Instagram too. But when people were talking about all the traveling I was doing back in 2018 before I moved, one of the things I had to show them was me cleaning toilets in my Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yo, y'all see the travel, but y'all have no idea. I think it was 7:30 in the morning or something. Like, it's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm up cleaning toilets because that's how I make that happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to live like this without putting in the work, right? And even when you get to places like this, there's still work to put in. Hold on, go back up, because I want to show them something. Right there, stop right there. So the coolest thing I think I've ever done to this point is that picture with that lady right there holding those keys. I bought my mother a car for my birthday this year.
Nice.
Like, that's
say that
what
they didn't hear you. They didn't hear you, AJ. Say it again slower.
I bought my mother a car for my birthday this year.
Preach it.
So
success, my mentors taught me success is being able to provide the people you love with the things you want them to have. He said for his birthday,
for my birthday, I bought my mother a car. And that's so another reason I think everybody should get experience not having to put all of your money on your bills is so that you have the extra income to do things like that. Because success isn't about like people get so caught up in this whole $1 million thing, right? Oh, I make $1 million, you know what I'm saying? I do this, I got $1 million, you can have a millionaire lifestyle without making $1 million if you do it the right way.
You just dropping jewels. I think we're giving them too much. I don't think they're ready to hear.
All right, let's shut it down because we had to bring that back for another time, man. Like,
millionaire, we got hold on. Let me make a note of this one. Let me make a note. And by the way, I want everybody, for the record, go like right now, go to his Instagram, follow him. So let me leave this note real quick to myself. Millionaire lifestyle without the million. And what was the other thing we got to talk about?
Shoot, man, I'll be on the go. I don't know. We're probably gonna have to look at the video.
It was the millionaire. Somebody tell me now. It was the millionaire lifestyle without making $1 million. The toilet grind.
Oh yeah. The toilet grind is real, man. The toilet grind is real. So don't, if you ain't willing to get, get dirty. And you know what? And this is cool. This okay. So I'm definitely we're gonna have to do this again because I'm writing a book right now called Root and Rise. Right? I'm working on my second book. It's called Root and Rise, and it's the real life struggle of the growth process, and the emphasis on the book is really how number one, in order to grow up to what you want to grow up to, number one, you have to be planted, right? The scary part about being planted is it's the same process as you go through being buried, right? And once you're buried or once you're planted, before you can rise up, you have to take root. But the only way you can take root is if you go down. But once you take root, then you start coming up. And people abort the process every day because they don't want to go through the process of rooting and rising. So, but that's the only way you can make it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it by yourself. Now, if you got a company taking care of you, then that's one thing. But if you're doing it on your own, yo, or if you're like commission based, or you know what I'm saying, if you gotta care what you eat, yo, more than likely you're gonna have to root and rise. And it's the real struggle of the growth process. That's why it's called growing pains.
Uncle Ladrunius, how difficult is it to get around Colombia as an English speaker?
I don't know Spanish. I'm learning very slowly. It's not difficult at all. You tell them. I mean, we have too much access to technology, right? So if all else fails, you just use Google Translate. But I suggest, yo, put it up and just try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You know your major phrases like gracias, no sé, which means I don't know, no entiendo, I don't understand, you know, por favor, please, direcciones, which is your address, you know, sayings like that, and you just figure it out from there. And you just start hearing the same phrases over and over and over. You know, we think language is so big, but if you think about it, we use the same words all the time. So you just start hearing those words all the time. Stop learning stupid stuff that don't make like. I think when it comes to learning languages, we learn stupid stuff that doesn't apply to us, which is why it's not relevant, which is why we don't use it, right? So, right. If you're not gonna use it in your everyday life, don't learn it right now. You can learn that stuff later. Learn what you're gonna use now. You know what I'm saying? So
something that we're definitely gonna also have to really, really, really get into. Classic Ruby, who she left two things. I'm gonna say the first part. I don't know about the others, but the benefits for me outweigh the cost and misery of 6 months of ice and snow life. And then she immediately followed that up with why. She said, that's the cost, but let's look at the benefit for me, which is the free healthcare, which I use monthly from prescriptions to test specialists. And as a Canadian with healthcare, one of the things I tell people from the United States that they don't understand is that we're the only country that charges people for medicine. One of the things that we can't really put a price on, and feel free to jump in on this, AJ, is living in every other civilized or uncivilized country in the world. They might make you pay a lot for a hamburger. They might make you pay a lot for a computer. But the concept of making people pay for healthcare is considered one of the most barbaric, savage practices that any nation could subscribe to, and that's what America makes its bread and butter on.
So let me explain how real that is in Colombia. I played American football here last year, and I got hurt. My first game I played, I hurt my knee. I had a doctor come to my house. A doctor, like she studied in the U.S., right? So it's not like just so people know, like, oh, it's not a it was a Colombian doctor. No, she studied in the U.S. She spoke perfect English. She came to my house. She gave me a physical. She wrote me prescriptions. She figured out what was wrong. She did all of that. It cost me $34 for her to come to my house. I didn't go to her office. You know what I'm saying? And if you look up, and this is something that if you have time, look up. You may want to look it up for them. Look at the World Health Organization ranking of healthcare. Colombia is above Canada and the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. And it's nothing, right? Like, I don't get insurance because I don't need insurance. Because if a doctor would come to my house for $34, everything else is nothing. Like, I had to get some dental work done. They was gonna charge me $12,000 to $15,000 in the U.S. Down here, the junk cost me like $3,500. So it's yo, when you look at the rankings and you be like, yo, we say America is the best at everything, but start looking at the World Health Organization rankings for 2019 of the best healthcare system. If I'm not mistaken, France is number 1, right? And I think Colombia is number 22. The United States, Canada is above the United States. I think Canada is in the 20s. I think they're like 27. And I think the United States is 37. So we always preach this stuff about the U.S. being number 1. And yes, we are number 1 in some things. We're just not number 1 in everything.
Number 1, France. 2, Italy. 3, San Marino. 4, Andorra. 5, Malta. 6, Singapore. 7, Spain. 8, Oman. 9, Austria. 10, Japan. Now let's find Colombia, 22. United States is 37.
What's Canada? 30.
So, that should give everybody a real understanding of. Now, this is interesting because I know Brazil has a thriving and burgeoning, what do we call it? Medical tourism. Where is Brazil here? That's interesting because I wonder if they even. Maybe I didn't see it. Help me out if somebody saw it and I didn't.
Hold on. That whole go up. Brazil? No, that's not Brazil. I thought it was 40.
That was Brunei. Belize, no.
So, X-rays, MRI surgeries. I haven't personally gotten any of them, but I can tell you just based off the friends that I have here, we all pay out of pocket with cash because it's nothing. So it's literally like, I bet you, I would almost guesstimate that you can get X-rays for like $20, $25.
Yeah.
Like if that, right? It's not. Yeah, it's not. It just isn't a lot of money here, right?
Now watch it. I'm going to show everybody something. Let's not even talk about after you're sick. Let's not even talk about public health care. Let's talk about if you just want to not get sick, right? I'm going to show you that. Let me see. Checkups. Let's see. I'm going to show you a private clinic that I go to, and a lot of my friends are shocked when the first thing I tell them we're going to do on Saturday, I always say, hey, we're going to go down and get you a checkup as well, because when was the last time you actually had a full checkup, right? Cardio, essential. Let's just say the essential. The essential checkup is $310. That's $70 US for just a standard checkup. But now let's say you want a standard checkup for a man over 40, this intensive checkup. That's still less than $100 US. And let's just, because I'm over 40, right? Masculine checkup does all the blood, creatine, potassium, PSA, consultation with a urologist. I mean, it really, the cost of preventative medicine, because I don't go on the public healthcare system because I haven't paid into that tax wise. It's an ethical thing for me. For $100, I can just go get a full checkup. And if you want medicine, you can just go to the pharmacy and get it.
Yeah, you just go to the pharmacy and grab it. And it's not, as long as, and I know in Colombia, as long as you got the prescription from the doctor, it was nothing. It was nothing. And like dental work, right? I get my teeth cleaned. It cost me $17 to get my teeth cleaned.
Yeah. Do you know what they keep trying to get me to do here in Brazil? Because the government does this huge subsidized, because I told you one thing I love about Brazilians, they're vain people. They're like, hey, do you want to get that fixed? I'm like, I've been rolling with this for 40 years. I'm okay. I'm like, because out here, everybody can get braces and all these shining dental care plans. I'm like, I'm fine with it. And they're like, yeah, but you can get it and the government will give it to you for free, or you can go down to the super clinic and pay $100. I'm like, I'm okay with mine.
The way I found out about the dental here was I was taking a train and this guy heard me speaking English and he was like, oh, you're American. I was like, yeah. I said, where you from, man? He was like, I'm from Marietta, Georgia. And I was like, bruh, shut up. I'm from Peachtree Corner, right? So next door neighbors, basically. It's all Atlanta suburb. And he was like, yeah, man, I came down here to get dental work because for me to get implants, it was cheaper to get the hotel, flight, and implants than it's cheaper than getting them in the US. So his flight, his hotel, and his implants were cheaper. And he had to come back several times. It was cheaper for him to travel and do that than it was to get it in the US. And I was like,
that happens all the time in every country I've been to. The first time I saw it when I was in Bangkok, Thailand. They have a hospital called Bumrungrad Hospital, one of the best hospitals in the world. again, people would be like, I'm just going to go to Thailand, get my surgery, take a month holiday and vacation, and still come out cheaper.
Come out cheaper. Yep. Yep.
Like, how does that work? How do we have a country where not even preventative medicine, we are good at a lot of things, but we're not the best at everything.
And I wish we would stop telling people that we're number one. Like, that's not true. We have the potential to be number one, but as long as you care more about money, and as long as you love money more than you love your citizens, you're never gonna be on the right end of the economy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we can say we got the most money, but look at the health of our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at the stuff that we feed them. Look at, like, you can't say you love your people like that.
And that's the other interesting thing about Brazil. It's not just straight medical tourism. It's medical tourism for people. You want to get that whole body sculpture you wanted, the Brazilian butt lift in Brazil from real doctors, get the face tuck and all this and all that. At first I was like, why would anybody want all that? And then, you know what? I'm like this social liberal. I'm like, get whatever makes you happy. I know women out here and just go and get in the whole package. One of our buddies got into an argument with his wife. I'm going to tell people, hold on. We got a testimony. Brother Craig Washington had tinnitus here in Sao Paulo last week. X-rays, labs, consultation, $0. Meds cost him $20 US. He could have gotten them free if he was willing to be admitted.
Yo, telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's a different world, man. It's a different world, and then you start to realize that it's not about keeping people healthy in the U.S. It's actually about keeping them sick. Right. Because that's where the money is.
Classic Ruby it looks like she has a chronic condition because she has to go every month. So we understand your condition is a very different condition. We're talking about, again, we're giving general ideas. So for healthy people who go for a yearly checkup or one-off issues, she agrees, but it might be a better option. Yeah. And Miss V agrees with you. America will never be on the right end. It's all about the bottom line.
Yo, it cannot be. It has to be about people. If it's about the bottom line, then you're missing the whole concept of people. Like, people are the bottom line. If you don't make people the bottom line, then you're eventually going to end up like we are. Like, we have now this is what's very interesting about the US. You have so many people that from the 36 countries that are above the US that come train medicine in the US, learn from the US, and then they go back and give it to their people, and they have better healthcare systems than we do.
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? How is it that they train in the U.S., but then the U.S. doesn't have that U.S. healthcare is ranked 37? That doesn't make sense.
Well, one of the things you said earlier, you said we keep telling people we're the best. You got to remember, the economy depends on most people not having as much information as they should on anything. That includes healthcare and travel. Hey, listen, we got to wrap up. We have given these people quite a bit to chew on. We're going to come back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk with you, and I also want Brother Craig to be on when we talk about that whole fitness thing.
Cool. Let me know.
All right.
We'll make it happen.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Be sure to share this somewhere. Share it on your Facebook or your Twitter or your Tinder profile. Say, hey, after we get done swiping on each other, we got to have something to talk about. Can we talk about one of the things YusefWateef talks about on his channel? Because they get kind of deep.
Can we talk about AJ taking his shirt off as soon as the thing is over?
AJ, get off. Don't be taking your shirt off on my broadcast, getting me kicked off YouTube.